Hey there, it's Steph, and today I wanted to share a little bit with you why I am on this fitness journey and why I'm including mind, body, and soul on this fitness journey, and why I think without all three aspects, I will never be the fittest I could be. So I spent the first half of my life being a people pleaser.
I'm so sorry I didn't say hi to you yesterday in the hallway. I hope you're not mad at me, are you?
Right? I didn't want anyone to ever be mad at me. Oh my gosh, so much effort went into making sure that I was keeping everyone else happy. And then I realized I can't do that anyway. I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. I can't control how other people feel or perceive me or respond to me. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to be me and do things that feel good to me and, be aware of how I'm treating other people in the process, because I do completely understand that how I behave will affect other people. However, I'm not going to stop being who I am, is what I decided the second half of my life. I really discovered that this life is supposed to be one that I enjoy, that you enjoy, that just fills us up, even though there is going to be pain and disappointment and all that stuff, that it's not going to be the leading character in my life story. I want joy to be my leading character, so I needed to take control of the story that I was telling myself and how I was putting myself out into the world and the relationships that I was allowing into my life. So after I decided I was going to stop being a people pleaser, which took work, not kidding, lots of therapy.
I just can't handle it when they're mad at me.
Interesting.
To really discover that I don't have to be a people pleaser, that I'm enough right now as is, even if other people are mad at me, don't like what I'm doing, whatever, right? Everyone has their own opinion, which is, I think I read the 4 agreements in about 2006, no, 2008, because I knew CUNY. So 2008, I read the 4 agreements and I was like, I see what's going on here. People's opinions are really more about them than about you.
Purple's an ugly color to wear.
So whether they love you or hate you, it's more about them and their perception of the world and their stories and everything that they've experienced, right? So it's not really about you, which really made sense on not taking things personal, because the first half of my life, I took so many things personal, which is interesting because then it leads to this time in my life where I experienced so much disappointment and so much loss over a couple years. So from 2010 to a couple years in, for a couple years there, I experienced so much loss and I felt so much disappointment in people, especially when I became a mom, and all the judgment that people that I didn't think would judged me on my momming.
You're holding your baby too much. Don't you ever put him down?
I think somebody wasn't held enough as a baby.
And so I was like, this doesn't feel good. And it was super disappointing and heartbreaking. Lots of other things happened. And we don't have time for all of that. So to make a long story short, basically, I just feel so angry. And when we had moved to Oregon, Makayo and I were at home all day long, stay-at-home mom, and we didn't know anybody there, and we only had one car, and it's rainy all the time, and Keone took the car to work every day, and he worked a lot, so it was Makayo and I in this little apartment, and
I wonder if I'll ever see the real sun again.
it's rainy, we don't know anyone, we can't go do anything except for walk around the area and go to the parks, which we did. We were walking machines, but I just felt like the connection to other people wasn't there anymore. My relationships had definitely disappeared in my life, and that was really sad and really hard. And so I just began feeling really angry. And I'd spent my whole life not being angry, being scared of anger, because to me, anger meant bad. And so I was like, okay, I can't be angry. And then all of a sudden, I just felt so angry, probably for every injustice I had felt in my life. And it was just all there. and I wasn't moving through it. And then my dog died, and I was just like, "Wah!" And I just felt so frustrated. Like, I get emotional now just thinking about it, right? So I just was like angry. I was sad, but more angry. You know, I wasn't letting myself be sad yet. I was angry at my family. I was angry at my parents, my sisters, Keone's family. I was angry at friends. I was just angry at the world, basically, except for Makayo. He was the only person I wasn't angry at, right? There was only love there for him. And so I just realized, you know, I'm having all this anger. And then I, at one point, you know, yearly checkups, I had level 3 precancerous cells in my cervix. And I was like, ah, what? And if you know Louise Hay, she has this book called You Can Heal Your Life. And she talks about how our emotions can really influence our cells and, you know, all this stuff. And if we have anger, how that responds in our body and all of these things. So the whole mind-body connection, right? And I just decided I was going to move through the anger. And what was really cool too, so after about a year of living, a little over a year of living in Oregon, I met some friends and we decided to start working out together.
This feels so good.
Totally.
And this was so healing for me because all of my life I had worked out a ton. I was always in the gym. I loved it. Like, when you ask me what was my hobby was working out. And then I stopped working out. Once we moved to Oregon, I just wasn't working out as much as I used to. Like, we'd go for walks, but I wasn't taking time in the gym, and my body was starting to respond to not working out. And since we were in this like vegan mecca, we were like trying all the vegan foods. Like, if it was vegan, I must try it, which was so weird for me because my whole life I was like the pickiest eater ever. And then all of a sudden we moved to Oregon, there's vegan food everywhere, and I'm like, I must eat all this vegan food.
Did you just eat the whole bag?
What? They're vegan.
And as you know, vegan food doesn't necessarily equal healthy, right? That's whole foods equals healthy. So I was eating a lot of vegan junk food, and I was just expanding in the ways that didn't fulfill me or help me feel like my best self. So I noticed that my mindset wasn't as positive. You know, like I said, I was in that anger. I was gaining weight. I wasn't as active, and all of that stuff plays into how I perceive the world. And so when I started working out with these friends, I was like, oh, here we go. I felt part of myself returning and release happening. So I was like, this feels really good. And it felt really good to let the workout start dissolving that anger and helping me return to who I am. And so I didn't do it consistently, but I did start doing it. And so I've just slowly been having this battle of working out or not working out or not working out that hard. What? At least I'm moving. Just doing enough, right? Like, kind of going through the motions versus really getting into it. And so now I'm in the middle of the Chloe Ting 2-week shred challenge. And I really discovered that, holy cow, that's why I was so fit in my 20s, because I was working my butt off. Like, I was doing hard workouts that bring results. And for the last 6 years, I've just kind of been going through the motions and not really dedicating or not really pushing myself. And so this challenge has been like waking me up to, oh yeah, this feels good. This is right. And it just is reminding me also that just fitness, like moving my body, is so important. And the other aspect of this fitness journey that I've been on is really like going within and doing the inner work so that I could heal from those things that I was resenting or hanging on to anger around, so that I could release that anger and replace it with love. And that is why I love using the tools that I use and why I share them with you guys, like such as the meditation and the hypnosis.
There you go.
It's like the self-hypnosis recordings, because they really help with my mindset, and like the people I work with, it helps with their mindset. And I know so many people want to feel good and want to move through the things that don't feel good. And so that's why I like to provide those for you, because I use them myself and it's been such a huge change in my life. And also I'm on this like incredible spiritual journey, which I've been on for, I don't know, I feel like pretty much my entire adult life. And every year I'm discovering more and more of that spiritual path, and it feels like it's more like home to me, and it just feels really nourishing. And so it's really important to me that I achieve my goals and that I practice what I preach. I just want to follow through for myself. I just want to have the best version of myself the majority of my days on this earth. You know, of course I'm going to have grumpy days or frumpy days or days where I just feel blah and I just want to sit and do nothing, and that's okay too. I like to ask myself what would feel really good for me to do right now, and then I do that. And I do that very often, and I do it in a way that just supports myself versus guilting myself or shaming myself for it. I just wanted to share this journey with you guys and provide the tools that I'm learning in case it can help you, because I know what it's like to be stuck in that place of feeling like no one understands or no one gets you, and like feeling like anger has taken over and it's kind of blocking out the joy and the things that we can appreciate. And I do know, and I'm sure you hear all the time too, and you know that gratitude and appreciation and love are really the healing vibrations of the world, right? Like that's when we feel really good and like our best selves. And I have some big dreams, you guys, and I want to reach these dreams. I want to have a positive impact on the people in my life, and I can't do that if I don't grow and I don't continue to thrive and be the best version of myself. And the best version of myself includes being honest with myself and where I'm at, and having that self-awareness and being willing to make the shifts and be honest with myself and say, you know what, this wasn't the best version of you today. What could you do better tomorrow? Or, you know what, the best version of you needs a rest day in order for you to continue being productive. And rest is also productive in its own way. It's productive for healing of the mind, body, and soul. So anyway, I just appreciate you coming on this journey with me. I do hope that the videos I share are something that you find value in, and that you find little pieces that you can add to your own journey, or things that you're like, okay, glad she tried that because there's no way I'm doing that, because it just helps you know yourself more. I guess what I'm saying is I hope that a lot of my videos help you discover yourself more on your own journey to being the best version of you. And I just want you to know that I'm here to support you, and you know, I care that you know that you're enough and that you can accomplish your dreams, and I also want to accomplish my dreams. And I think in this community, if we support each other in doing that, great things will happen. So thanks so much for spending this much time. If you're still here, big hugs to you, and thank you so much for hanging out. And go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe so we can go on this journey together. Please engage with me in the comments. Let me know what you're doing on your journey and where you're succeeding and where your challenges are, and little tips that you found that has really helped you on your own journey. So anyway, have an awesome day. Thanks for stopping by. See you later.